Nathan, we are here at NOLA Motorsports Complex just outside of New Orleans.
That's right.
Is that how you say it?
New Orleans.
Okay, and behind us is what?
Behind us is a racetrack which has the brand new Lexus RCF making laps.
And guess who got to go out on the racetrack and take a hot lap or two?
That was us, baby.
And that is coming up next on the Fast Lane Car. Wide open track, and we're using about 1.8 miles of it, so it's not quite the full track, but it certainly gives you enough sense for what this car can do, because you can let it run. And believe me, there is plenty of power here to scare me going around this track. And I know I look goofy in this helmet, but safety is of course the main thing about getting on a racetrack, and we have to wear these helmets. There's no way around it, and that's just the way it is. Now, the immediate sense that I get from getting in this car is that it's really cool. I mean, Lexus has taken up their game to the next level and kind of brought that level of BMW excitement to their cars.
The Lexus RCF. F means frickin' fast and ferocious sounding. That kind of sounds stupid. Sorry, I have to wear a helmet, guys. I know you make fun of, well, I already have a big head. This is actually kind of tight on me. It's a large, it's not an extra large. But it's required for us to drive these cars. So, hey, at least I get to drive it, right?
Will it be as good as a BMW? Let's find out. Are we good to go?
Have at it.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You bet.
All right, I'm gonna keep this in drive because trying to kind of say something intelligent about the car and drive a pretty fast racetrack and then use the paddle shifters is beyond my ability. Like I say, I am not a race car driver. I don't pretend to be one. I'm going to give you my kind of everyman take on this, but I've been lucky enough to drive a lot of the competing cars, which of course include the BMW M4. Here we go. Now that sound you're hearing, that is a little bit augmented. I do have it in track mode, and I do have the TVD on. The TVD is Lexus's torque vectoring rear differential, and in a very active way, using electric motors, it routes power to the wheel that gives you the best possible turn in. So in other words, when I'm making this right turn, the left outside wheel is getting power now, so that it brings the car around in a much more controlled manner, and boy, you can really feel that.
Okay, here we go. Out of the pits. Away we go. Yes. Oh, 100 and something miles per hour. Now it's doing all the downshifting and all the, it's matching the throttle and letting me pretty much drive without having to play with the paddle shifters. It does it all on its own. Now there's two different RCFs here today. There's this one, right around there, and then make the rear end stick out a little bit. It doesn't let it do much. And that's because there's two different RCFs here, one of which has the Torsen rear end, the other one has a torque vectoring rear end, and they are different, significantly different. This one feels a little bit more neutral and natural. The other one artificially assists you around a corner. by putting more power to the outside wheel as you go around the corner.
The sound you're hearing is augmented, so it's not quite real. I wish it was, but all the manufacturers now have decided that it's better to have a car that on the road can be quiet and on the track can be loud, and the best way to do that is to use different techniques basically to change the engine note on the inside of the car.
Brakes are fantastic. Nose is heavy. It's a heavy car. I like big, strong, heavy cars though. I do indeed. But at the same time, and a lot of you out there much prefer something that's a little bit more fleet of foot, this isn't exactly that car. If you're thinking this is like a Scion FRS or something like that, nope, not at all. Straight away going 110 or so.
Brakes feel really confident. Took this turn way too wide. Oh my, on the strips. But you can really feel that torque vectoring and that rear diff happening as this car just beautifully carves these corners. And, you know, I'm not hitting these apexes because I'm kind of concentrating on the car ahead of me right now, but boy, I can really tell that this car's electronics are making me look like a much better driver than I am. Really amazing. Strong, strong brakes. These Brembos are incredible. 15 inches of Brembo brakes. That's about the size of a wheel from not too long ago. And that's the size of the disc rotor right now. Just incredible. You know, Lexus is really up their game. I'm really impressed by how far they've come in making a car that is passionate and has all the things that you'd ever want in a car that is track worthy and track capable.
And they got these cones to break up the straightaway. That way we don't exit out of the straightaway going 150 miles per hour. I can understand that because I'm stupid enough to do that. Wow, this thing has great acceleration. All the blipping, everything you're hearing is all done automatically, and it's been working flawlessly. Makes me sound like I know what I'm doing. Yes, I'll only say it once or twice. I would prefer a manual transmission. It ain't ever gonna happen, but I know that. But as it stands, as something you just point and shoot, it's great. But when you're driving this car, you certainly get a feel that the front end plows just a little bit.
Of course, they don't have the pedigree of BMW, which of course has been building M cars for much longer, but man, they have come a long way in a long time. Listen to that. I know it's fake, but you know what? I don't care. It's just glorious. Oh my God. And these electronics, the stability control, the torque vectoring, it's making me into a much better driver than I actually am. And you know what? At the end of the day, that puts this huge smile on my face. And you know, I want all the aids I can get because I am not such a bare-chested gorilla like Nathan is, that he can just kind of take this car by the scruff of the neck and not be terrified of 450 plus horsepower and what that could potentially do on a wide open racetrack like this. So you know what, this car really does live up to any expectation that you may have of a sport racetrack worthy race car.
Around the S's, you could definitely feel the traction control holding me back a little tiny bit. It's partially because I'm driving poorly. But it feels good to really push it. It just feels like it's like an angry Hulk. I'm going to kill. And that's great because it's a Lexus. You would think, Lexus isn't really going to make a car like that, right? Oh, yes, they did. This is a lot better than the ISF. The ISF felt a little tippy. This feels more planted. Now, bear in mind, it does share a lot of components with the GS. In fact, the entire front end component is pretty much a GS. And then part of it is the the IS convertible, that's right. For more rigidity in this area, in the back, it's more IS. So it's kind of a mixed mash.
And whether it's electronics or whether it's the driver, at the end of the day, what counts is this huge smile that I have on my face after that lap.
Now it's a tight cockpit, man. I have to have my seat almost all the way back in order for my big head and helmet to fit. But look, I'm not that big, all right?
Is it as good as the M4? You know, it's different. I guess the best way to describe it would be the M4 is a little bit more visceral. It's a little bit more of a sledgehammer, and this is a little bit more laid back in some ways. I think there is still a lot of luxury in this car. I don't think that Lexus has quite gone as far toward the race end of the spectrum as BMW does. That might be a little bit sharper, a little bit faster too, but damn, this is close. All right, Nathan, so what'd you think of the car?
I thought it was a great all-around driver, but not necessarily a track car.
You know, it's amazing that it's come such a long way competing with iconic cars like the BMW M4.
Absolutely, and you know what? They made something that really makes you feel special.
It does. Driving it, or even looking at it, I think it's styled just beautifully. As always, this is Roman.
And Nathan.
Reporting for the Fast Lane Car. Thanks for watching, and check out
TFL Car for news, views, and real-world reviews.
And Racetrack reviews.
That too.
We're so lucky, Nathan.
We are.
Ciao.
Folks, we had an opportunity to take the brand new Lexus RCF on the track, and it kicked ass. It's fast, it's a little heavy, but it's a great car on the track.
But we've only driven on the road for like 50 feet to park it. So of course, coming up next, we want to see if this race-ready Lexus is also road-ready, and that is coming up
on the Fast Lane Car.